If you currently sound like you're just playing one scale after the next, but you would really love to play expressively with great phrasing, then this lesson today is for you. Because I want to show you the 3 exercises that took my playing from this to this. But first, before I get started, why should you exactly listen to me? Well, my name is Ulrich Ellison. I've been on a quest for 30 plus years to get out of my scale prison and sound less like Mr. Scales and more like Mr. Music. So today I want to show you the 3 exact exercises that probably helped me the most in discovering the tonal qualities of the sounds that I was playing. Doesn't matter if we're talking about just the pentatonic or if we're talking about playing in a modal context. I'm talking about maybe Dorian, Mixolydian. You're probably familiar with those terms, but they probably sound more like something your doctor would prescribe you and not something that you are making music with. Well, today I want to change it for you. I want to show you what exactly you need to know and what you need to do to start sounding more like that second clip here for Mr. Music. All right, let's get rocking. So the first exercise is going to tackle the underlying first problem. Because what I see many times is that players learn their pentatonic scales. You have your pentatonic licks going. People keep sounding kind of endlessly noodling around the same licks. So the real problem of what's happening here is not the amount of scales that you know. It's not even your phrasing, even though good phrasing is gonna help you. But the underlying problem is your stale treatment of rhythm. If you always play the same stuff rhythmically, then it's just gonna sound very boring. So there's a few things that we need to do rhythmically to get to new places in your playing and break out. And we don't even need to move around much here on the fretboard. You don't even need to be able to play the pentatonic all over the fretboard at this very stage. On this stage, I'm just gonna assume that you may be an intermediate or advanced beginner, and you know your pentatonic licks, but you always kind of play on the same places. So I want to show you a few things here with something that I call rhythmical sparring. So that is exercise number 1. We would just put on the backing track, and then I do little rhythmical experiments to free myself from the gravity of my habits and just my unreflected playing. Basically, I want to give myself more rhythmical awareness, and the same thing is going to work for you. All right, here we go. So my first task in the rhythmical sparring, always start on beats 2 instead of 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It already sounds much more interesting, right? Well, we're not gonna stop there. Now we're gonna mix in some syncopated 16th lines. Check this out. Yeah, do you see how powerful it is when you grab one rhythmical motive, a rhythmical cell, and you start just moving it around independently from the notes that you're playing, yeah? And now I was just using the pentatonic, so I was kind of keeping it dumbed down in a way, yeah? But you can already hear that when you take a rhythmical motive and then you play it with other notes in a different place, that this cohesiveness starts to build. This purpose starts to creep in. That's exactly what we want, and that's what we need to sound more like Mr. Music, less like Mr. Scales. All right, now let's talk about what I call problem number 2. Problem number 2 is that most intermediate guitarists, they're stuck in one position, and it's usually a vertical position, yeah? It's maybe this, then maybe you've learned somewhere that you can go horizontally, right? Maybe you learned something like this. This is already a great step in the right direction. But why do so many of us never systematically just learn the full fretboard? Especially in the horizontal plane. Yeah, I'm talking about this plane here. If you think of this as an XY coordinate system, why do we focus so much energy on this coordinate? It's called as the Y coordinate, and kind of neglect the X coordinate. Well, here with this exercise, we're gonna focus on the X coordinate, and I'm gonna show you one of my favorite 2-string patterns, and you can use this sequence in many different tonal contexts. I'm just gonna stick here to a key of C minor and stick to the pentatonic scale and show you the exercise. Let's go. We're just gonna start this slow at first. We're gonna start here up on the E string on the C note. One more time, a little faster. So why am I doing this exercise? Well, this exercise allows me to completely break out of the pentatonic boxes and start singing pentatonic horizontally. Also, it offers me an actual phrase that I can use in my solos. I'm going to show you this phrase sounds absolutely fantastic. So you can start playing a cool phrase. You also practice your picking technique, because this is a very good pattern to practice this. All right, so start out with practicing this on the high B and E string. Of course, I also want to be able to do this on the other string pairs as well. This is really going to help you to train the so-called pentatonic boxes and break out of those boxes and not be Mr. Scales anymore. Let's see what that sequence sounds like if I play it over the backing track. It's just a lot of new good ideas will come from you practicing this. So this was number 2. And now let's go to number 3. We've played the pentatonic here, and you've probably played the pentatonic for many, many years. We all do. And it's a great sound to use for playing blues and rock. But there are some spices and flavors that go beyond of just these 5 notes. How can we get in some extra notes without having to completely become a theory professor and learn about all the scales and Dorian, and then D Dorian can also be E Phrygian and F Lydian and G Mixolydian. How can we just play and feel the sounds without diving into theory like that. Well, I'm going to show you my approach. So here we are still in C minor, and we kind of have a Dorian vibe going here, if you already noticed. So I'm just going to add the Dorian note here, and I just happen to know that that's the major sixth. The major sixth in C is the A note. So we got to find all our A notes. Yeah? Here in our favorite position, it's here and here. So those are the two A notes that we have here. Yeah? So how about we just play the C minor pentatonic and we just mix in the A note, just like a spice, yeah? Not like meat and potatoes, but just like a little bit of it as a spice. Let's see what that could sound like. Did you notice how this did not sound like a scale, but again sounded like music? Because I'm treating the modal color like a spice, and I'm not even interested in playing the full scale. I'm just gonna add it in, and what I found out here through experimentation is that it works well to kind of connect it to the root note here, right? I also like the jump here from the sixth straight to the minor third. That sounds pretty cool, yeah? So let's see what that would sound like over the backing track. Yes, my friends, so let's summarize the 3 exercises that I showed you today. First, I was talking about the rhythmical sparring to liberate your rhythm, stop starting on the 1 all the time, and just get more rhythmical awareness. Then second, I was showing you my 2-string pattern that you can apply to many different scales. We were just doing it in the pentatonic. That will help you to explore the x-axis of the guitar and start playing more horizontally. And number 3, I was showing you my approach of playing the modal colors as spices and not as scales, and first practice those spices over just a C minor drone before then sneaking them into your pentatonic lines and find through experience and trying out stuff what sounds best to you. Fantastic! So I hope you got a lot out of this lesson, but if you're someone that wants to level up his or her playing, and you have all these puzzle pieces together, like this lesson here, but you're missing a structured path to really stop being Mr. Scales and start being Mr. Music, then I have fantastic news for you. This path actually exists. It's called TGT Academy, where I've already helped hundreds of students to become musical, expressive improvisers. And that's why I want to offer you something really special here today. I'm talking about the TGT Academy Decision Kickstart package. Click on the link below here and find all the info. You will be able to test our TGT Academy system before you potentially commit to becoming my student. Sounds good? Awesome. So keep on rocking. Click on the link below here, check out this package. We are limiting this for now to 20 students. So I actually cannot guarantee that it will be available if you come here to this video much later after it has been published. But anyhow, I wish you all the best. And if you're here on this channel, you can keep watching this video here next.